But yeah, there it is. It's a nodule again in the thing, but you can clearly see the ribs around the side there, so we're going to get that out, and yeah, shouldn't be too much trouble with a bit of luck. Morning everybody, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. Steve here, Rumford Fossil Hunters. Yes, today we're yet again at Saltwick Bay. We're in North Yorkshire, but we haven't had a lot of luck on all the other sites, and we keep pulling stuff off of Saltwick Bay, and this is where our caravan's actually based. Not one of them, I hasten to add, and not one of them neither. But one of them, way over the back there, a nice view of Whitby Abbey on top of the cliff. Certain times of the year, because of it being so exposed, the wind and everything, you can't have awnings, it just blows you off the cliff. In fact, it blows caravans off the cliff, so you know, you have to be a bit careful. Yep, so you all know the score. Off we go down to the beach. It's about 6:15 in the morning, so we had to get up a little bit early this morning in order to catch the tides right, because it's either early this morning or late this afternoon, and we were having later and later dinners, and it was getting a bit silly. So yeah, so we're going for an early morning one. I'm just waiting for Yvette now to finish pampering herself, and then we'll be off. So the next views you shall see will hopefully be us round that headland, walking across the rocks, and let's keep fingers crossed we get something better today. Yeah, we have to take it a little bit slower today because the path's a little bit slippery. We've been having constant thunderstorms the last couple of days. So, yeah, slowly but surely. I'm sure the fossils will still be there when we get there. As a little side note, I do a little bit of star photography every now and then, and I was out 4 o'clock the other morning and saw a guy with a head torch came past me, pitch black it was. It was only me and him in the world, it felt, that was actually up at that time of the morning. I think he was shocked to see me and I was shocked to see him. It was still a polite good morning and a tip of hats, and yeah, and I just took a picture of him actually on the beach with his headlight on. It looked a bit weird, but it was actually this scene. It was from this spot that I was doing the star photography. It was quite impressive because the Milky Way at the time was literally running from the centre of that point of land, literally right overhead here. So yeah, I get a moment, I'll stick them on as well. It's all Saltwick Bay. I know it's not directly fossiling, but it's something a bit different. Right, let's carry on the walk. Yeah, we're about 3 hours after high water. Obviously the tide's going out. We're chasing it. That's the reason for getting up early. And 3 hours after high water here at Saltwick is about right, because most of the stuff, good stuff you want to find is behind the wreck, which is just way in the distance. And as you can see, the bedrock just here is being exposed. One little bit of slippery weed you have to be careful of just to get over, and then just sort of keep fairly flat really without clambering over rocks to get where you got to go. So 3 hours after high water, that's your guide. Make it safer. And here's the bedrock, full of nodules, as you can see. Streams running, where obviously the tide's still going out. It's a belemite there, you probably can't make it out. If I was to point out here, it'd help. Yeah, belemite there. Nodules. Nodules. Yeah. So, up there, round the corner. And a bit of luck, yeah, we ain't even got to walk on the weed. So there isn't no weed, but it's like almost a footpath. It's quite handy. What's that? Yvette's found one already. We ain't even got round there yet, just picked it up. So the tide's obviously just washed that out from the rocks. And it's a nice one as well, nice dac. Looks like it's going to all be there because it's in a slightly harder rock. That usually indicates the middle might be there. Won't know obviously till we process it and get home. But again, it just shows you getting down here early, and first the tide's just exposed it for us. Obviously pulled it out from over here somewhere and then trapped it in one of these gullies. So looking in these gullies on your way out to the thing is another, well, there's the proof. So, got me looking now. Right, let's go down our footpath of non-weed, which is quite handy. Someone's been down here with a mower, I think. Pretty sand ripples created by the tide, sort of thing you see mimicked from 180 million years ago in some of the limestone boulders and rocks that fall down. Yeah, you have to look hard, but when you sort of look up at one of those, that might be stress lines from where it actually fractured, I'm not sure. But if I can get it, hold on, there, right in the middle, it's on the right hand hedge of it, like just there, there's sort of stress lines on it, and it mimics exactly the, there's better examples, if I find one I'll show it. Right, keep getting distracted. Big rock pools, pair of welly boots is a good idea around here at Saltwick. Some people wear beach shoes in the summer, but not a good idea because all this white stuff you see here on the rocks is actually barnacles and able to tear your skin to pieces. So no bare legs and no beach shoes if you can help it, unless you've got a tin of plasters with you. Yeah, waffling again. Let's go. Someone's ahead of us there, look. Right, I've been asked to show you this, the fluffy thing around my neck. This is the mic that you're hearing me on, cutting the wind out. I think it's doing a pretty good job of it, because there is a bit of wind blowing, a bit of a breeze. Probably can't see it on the video. But the other thing, we've got waterproof leggings on because they're forecasting heavy showers, and didn't want to be fighting, trying to get them over the welly boots when it starts and then getting soaked. So we put them on before we left off, which I must say is a bit like a sauna at the moment, so we're trying to hurry up and get where we're going, but you can't be too quick. But the thing is, my leggings I have to go for extremely large ones, but they do fall down. You keep bending over all day picking up fossils, and next thing you know they're around your knees. So yeah, so Yvette bought me a pair of braces, and I don't know if you can see them, even though where are they? Oh, they're on the outside, silly boy. And they've got little dinosaurs on them. There, that's that bit over with. back to the walk. There be the Saltwick Nab. See, I can see a face in it. Do you see a face in it? I can see a face. And then when you look at all the rock in total, like from there to there, that's where some people say it's a submarine coming up. And then when you look at it from a different angle and a different light, it looks like one of the old sphinxes from the Cleopatra time. So, yeah, Saltwick Nab. And yeah, so famous that the Whitley Brewery actually named a brew after it. And it's simply called Saltwick Nab, and I recommend it. Lovely owl. Nice view to boot as well over the Whitby Abbey. And yeah, we're just walking over the bedrock now. Rises up a little. This is the remains of old harbour walls from the days of, I believe, alum mining. I don't think you can work it out in the cliffs here. There's holes in the cliffs. Obviously steer clear of it. I mean, yesterday I was only looking at the one just here. And yeah, the ceiling was falling in, so steer clear of them ones. But yeah, remains of the harbour wall. And just popping over the top here now, it's actually the remains of the wreck, which names escapes me. I'm sure many of you know what it is. I'll probably throw it up anyway, so you can Google it if you want to find out more about it. It's always here, always a feature, landmark. Everyone says, oh, you go past the wreck, you know, when they're trying to tell you where the fossils are. And yeah, what remains of the engine and prop shafts and girders and bits and pieces. Right, so there's the nab and the wreck. Well, can't even see the wreck now, it's way in the distance. Might be able to make up caravans on top of the hill there in the distance, which is our site. Another fossil hunter there walking along, we've overtook him. There's the first fall, which is like the grey finer silt that meets the cliff up there, sort of up in that area there. It's what I call the first fall, and then this here is the second fall, which again is all the grey matter that's sort of along here. And then the cliffs, which you have to always watch, some nasty rocks sticking out, look like they're about to fall any second. But then, yeah, we just noticed this anomaly. Times we've been on this beach, we've never noticed this before. Obviously we've got bedrock and stuff and really large boulders. And then we just, Yvette just came across this unusual, large sort of rock pool. As she said, when the land was probably right out here, the water was obviously seeped down through and worn away the softer rock. But it's the way the three rocks here are positioned. Almost looks like a giant's come along and tried making his own little water feature or something. But yeah, the way it's got that overly sort of shape and worn out, it's yeah, it's quite different. Right, we're going to try and make it to the little headland you can see in the distance just over there. There is actually a rope that goes up to the green bit there, which is what the fishermen put in so they can get down at even at high tide and do a bit of fishing. But we won't be climbing that rope today, so let's carry on with the walk. Almost made it to the last point, Just going to stick our nose around that and be nosy. We've never really looked around there to see what's along there. Might be a lovely beach, might be all rocks, I don't know. We've got the tide on our side because we're nice and early, so I thought, well, while we're here, let's have a look. It's got to go really careful though, lots of slippery weed here. So, yeah, camera away till I find something. I think that's an ammonite there, I'm not sure, because it's still wet. It's just showing a couple of ribs. No, it's a broken one, I think it's just an outer. It is an ammonite, but yeah. Yeah, it's showing only the outer part of it. This part broke off a long time ago. Now the middle may still be there because all this rock is still here, but no, not worth taking. Leave it there so the kids can see it easy. It's a little thing fossilers tend to do, really. Probably know that already if you do fossil, but you know, if you have a little heart and care for the kids, as we all do, you know, you sort of find something that you ain't going to take, put it on top of a rock, makes their find easier and makes their day. Right, might be able to walk across that bit. Slowly, slowly. We made it precariously round the little nab, whatever that's called, I don't know. Good name for it if there ain't one. Yeah, really slippery, and on the other side of it is actually quite a deep, looks like a swimming pool really. The pool that's there, I don't know whether that goes right out. The tide's gone out, the water's obviously higher than the tide there. But yeah, this stuff really, really slippery. Not only because the tide's just gone out, but because of the rain we've been having as well. Anyway, around the other side, and some unusual cutouts in the rocks and stuff like that. Yeah, this is all sort of shale. I feel little spits of rain now. I don't know if you can make it out, just to give you a location, but just poking over the top of the cliff there is what's known as the Hornblower. Just see the tip of it there, a little white bit. The Hornblower cottage and lighthouse. We ain't going to go much further along here. Looks like a bit of a sea mist rolling in, because I mean the waves ain't stupidly big, they're not creating all that mist, just the humidity here. So we're just going to have a quick mosey around an area we've never done before, which is this fall just here, and then we're going to negotiate our way back to where we know, backtrack, and then have a look for some more plant fossil specimens and ammonites on the way. Who knows, ichthyosaur could be waiting. It's just starting to rain, so this camera ain't waterproof, so if it turns out to be one of those days where ooh, look at that, it's a load of pyrite, but the whole thing is covered in little tiny ammonites and all bits and pieces. Looks quite pretty actually, just as it is. Cool, if that ain't heavy, you might even take that, give it a little polish up and a clean. There's ammonites in it and everything. Yeah, quite pretty that. A lot of little details. Well, not bad find, is it? First one. So what does this yield? Is it or ain't it, eh? Is it or ain't it? No, I don't think so. Or is it? I don't know. Have a look. Yeah, it's a very well worn one, I think. Sea's got hold of that. Yeah. Again, leave it there for the kiddies. I don't think a lot of people come round here because of how slippery and precarious it is. So, have a good old look in amongst all this. I think we could find something today, just here. Yeah. Well, we already have. Only took 3 steps into the area. But, yeah, good. Yeah, there's one there. Well, try grabbing that one. It might be part of the bedrock, I don't know. Or is it shale? It's just an imprint, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that ain't a DAC, I don't think. Is it an imprint? So you have to be careful. I don't think it's raised up. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So maybe them Harpocirrus around here, that'd be nice. So I haven't got many of them. Well, I've got some pretty large ones, but they're all well crushed crystals and they look pretty in a weird sort of way. But it'd be nice to get some that are pristine. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's just an imprint, love, yeah. Nah, don't collect bits, do we? No, what's that? Something else right next to it. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. There's a couple in there actually. Yeah. Yeah, put that in the bag as it is, because if they're the flat, name escapes me, ammonite, not Harpocirrus. I think the name of it. Yeah. Keep hearing little stones falling every now and then. It's damp weather and all that, so I'm not going to go too close to any of this. Right, let's carry on having a little rummage around the edge here and then work our way in. It's trying to rain, isn't it? Yeah, nice belemite there for those that like to collect belemites and make jewellery. Again, kids call them bullets, but they're not, obviously. They're what's left of the guard of an ancient Jurassic squid-like creature. But they're a solid crystal, and if you've got a stone polisher, little tumbler, they're not too dear. Polish them up, they come up like glass. Drill holes in them, save them all up, and you've got yourself, you know, a necklace, or whatever you want to make out of them. Make an heavy pair of earrings, but yeah, they're telltale when you find them, because on the end, when you look at them, I always think the crystalline structure looks a bit like a dartboard. It's just got like radiating lines coming out from the middle all round. Right, the rain is starting to get a little bit heavier now, as you can see in the puddles, so I'm going to put the camera away, put the waterproof coat on, and hopefully film a little bit more a bit later on. Right, well, as you can see, I mean, we've got quite a few bits, but it's been raining so heavy, it's still raining now. I shouldn't really be filming with this camera, so I'll make this one quick. But there's been a new fall up here, like a load of shale behind me. I don't know if you can see that in the cliff. It's like a new big sort of area there, and you can see all the shale there. And obviously the sea's obviously washed it down and it's eroding it. I was just walking through, just noticed a big nodule in it, and Yvette's just about to drag it out. And
Oh, you've got to be joking.
no, it ain't going to come out. I might have to chisel it in situ then, see if we can get it. Yeah, don't damage it against the white one. No, just tilt it up if you can. Yeah, that'll do. I'll get to that. I'll get to that with a chisel, yeah, it's okay. Right, yeah. It's alright, don't leave it, mind your back. Mind your back, don't overdo it. But yeah. But, there it is, it's a nodule again in the thing, but you can clearly see the ribs around the side there, so we're going to get that out and yeah, shouldn't be too much trouble with a bit of luck. So yeah, there's loads of that stuff here. We just have to look for nodules that are actually in it. That's really what we're interested in. Again, if it's just ammonites just sitting in between all this, it's going to be crushed. So they need to be in nodules. As you can see, the tide's now in. We almost left it too late to get back. Had to scramble quite close to the rocks where it meets the cliff, which is not always a good idea. Some parts of the cliff are quite stable, but many ain't. So don't do as I do. Make sure you watch your tides. It's rained for most of the day, so I haven't been able to film, as you know by previous footage. But it's literally just still drizzling now. But yeah, we're just making our way back up to the caravan where we can have a cup of tea, get all our waterproofs off in our mobile sauna, which is what we feel like. And once we've had a bit of a rest, I'll lay all the stuff out and then just give you another little video snippet of what we actually pulled off the beach today. But no, I'm quite happy. Didn't have a chance to look at any plant finds today. because we got carried away looking at other areas a bit further along the beach we'd never done before, which is why it sort of caught us out a bit. Spent a bit more time down here than we should have. We got down here early, but yeah, I'll probably have a couple of hours nap actually, sort of give me a bit of an edge. So yeah, so hope you enjoyed the little bit that there was, and yeah, I'll video the other bits when we get back to the van so you can see what we got. See you soon. Hello again, this is the last bit of video just to show you bits and pieces we pulled off the beach today. This isn't one of them, this is actually my cup of coffee, but yeah. So really quickly running through some stuff here. Right, this here is what's known as a deathbed. It's a strange name because you know, when you obviously get a lot of fossils all accumulated together, that's just a nickname that they give it, you know, when it is crammed, literally shoulder to shoulder, side by side. Of it may be difficult to see in this light. I don't know if I put it in the sunlight if you can see any difference. But what that is, that's belemnites. Now, belemnites are those things I was talking about, which are like bullet shaped. When the tips break off, there's actually some just there, which are the crystals, which is the shield, the guard for the belemnite, which is a squid-like creature that lived 180 million years ago and more. This is rammed with them. The whole rock is literally from back right the way through and to front. It's very difficult to know where the rock is actually. It's just literally all belemnites all the way through it. Now, belemnites are sort of a type of crystal when they're formed, when they're fossilised, and they do polish quite well when they've gone through a tumbler and stuff like that. Then they've also got an interesting shape to the centres when they've been cut because of the crystalline structure. And this is just rattling around on the beach, but because I've got a diamond stone cutter, I can slice this literally right down the middle here, right the way round. So I'll end up with two pieces, and you end up with really nice, pretty sort of shapes on it, and they can be polished up, and that can be quite a nice item. So that's the belemnite bed. Well, saying that, I can see just where my finger is here, there's actually what's a type of ammonite or something like that. So you can get all sorts mixed in there with it. You can get mussel shells and things like that, but generally it's what they call belemnite bed. This little piece next to it, this is actually exactly the same sort of thing. It's rammed, it's full, but the difference is, again in the sunlight, this one is mostly shells. There's no belemnites visible in this one. I'll turn it around. Just trying to get the sun to shine across sticks and you get a 3D relief sort of thing going on. You can see there's an indentation there of a mussel shell, same there. The indentations on this side, which tells you that usually, you know, when they're all indentations, that this is the underneath of what was the seabed. So if you turn it over, you now see they're not indentations, they are actually the tops of the shells. So this was obviously the top of the seabed. Again, if you're careful with a pen and you're lucky, you may be able to remove some of the matrix or rock in between all of the shells, and somehow do a bit of a polish with a tool similar to a Dremel with a polishing head on it and all that, and make a really bumpy, you know, but the amount of man hours you'd have to spend on that just to get like a polished shell, depends how you want it to be really. It's thick enough again to do a slice right the way through, so you end up with, like, size wise, like 2 slices of bread I suppose by the time that was done. It's a big shell in this area, not quite sure what that is because obviously it's been worn as well, probably just a big mussel shell. But bearing in mind all this type of mussel that we're looking at here is not the same as what you see today on the beach. You know, everything that you're looking at here on this table is extinct. Not only did it live a long time ago, it's extinct. So anything you can do to sort of not bring it back alive, but make it pretty and make it a showy object. You know, it's all a good thing. So yeah, that's what them two primarily are. They're cut and polishes and be treated in a different way. Then we go to the common old thing, which is the ammonite. Obviously, I ain't going to pick every one of them up and take them in the sun because obviously, yeah. This is a multi-block. There's an ammonite running through this bit here. There's one running over this way. There's a bit of one there, there's evidence of one there. So the whole thing is like a multi-block, not ram-packed the same as what the shell ones are, but you know, it's got a few in it, so you can sort of work on that very carefully with a pen, and you can reveal them and end up with quite an interesting sort of feature. You better pick this one up, she quite like this. These are all dirty, by the way, they all need washing and processing, but she thought they would look like two heart shapes on the side there. It's obviously it's just two Jurassic sort of muscle type creature, which it's been warmed by the sea. It's going round. There's one on the back there as well. But it's because those two are together and they look like two hearts, she thought, and she quite liked that. So I'm going to polish that one up and see. Yeah, likewise she got a mussel shell. I'll put that in the light. There's still rock around the outside here, you know, a bit of matrix. But there is, I don't know if you can work it out, that there is actually the mussel shell. Just see the lines in it. If I twist it, maybe the growth lines. Again, you think, oh yeah, mussel, but it's not the same as our mussel today. Again, you know, it's extinct, and yeah, and again, because it's all shell, it will polish up. She picked that up because she liked it. It shows all the chambers inside the ammonite, which are filled with the calcite crystal and all that white crystal that you get inside them. I don't know if it's easier if I zoom in slightly because the focusing keeps failing on. Let's give that a go. Right, that just a very well worn ammonite, but she liked how it felt, very very lightweight. Again, these are all the belemnites. No, I can't do focusing. Right, these are all the belemnites. These are large sections of ammonite. I think it's called Hildaceras. I stand to be corrected on that. No doubt somebody will do in the comments below. I just picked these up because they are they're tactile. They're quite nice to hold. And again, because of the crystalline content. I mean, these are filthy, but you just give them a quick touch with your finger like that. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but they go shiny just immediately as soon as you give them a touch, because of the amount of pyrite and the stuff they've got in them, and also crystal when there ain't pyrite. Sometimes you're lucky, inside you may have crystal, and you can actually again slice these to reveal the inner chambers, and they can actually, or isn't essentially an ugly thing to many people, turn into a thing of beauty. All the chambers inside are all revealed, and I've done it a few times with normal ammonites that are smashed up. Okay, there's a couple of bits of those there. Ammonite, bits missing, but that don't mean that you can't collect it if you really want it, because the middle is there, as you can see, and even though all of this section's all gone, if you imagine all this when it's been penned out and it's much lower than what it is now, and this damaged section here is removed, and it still looks like a complete ammonite on the inner whorls. There's enough of them to sort of get away with that. So yeah, it was in a nodule, obviously. It's hard, it's got a middle, so worth. Lovely, got an aircraft going over now. Go away. Yeah, yeah, so that's that. And then, you remember the one on the video when it was raining and we got the film, just got the camera out just to show you. This was the nodule that was already in the shell block, and I had to take an hammer and chisel to it to actually get it out. This is a double, still got bits of the stuff on the back. But yeah, but this is a double DAC, as they call it, Dactyceras, common thing here. You can sort of see the markings as the keel, and the same here. Absolutely perfect condition, still in its nodule, and the nodule was still in the shell that had recently fell from the cliff. So hopefully the centres are in them, who knows. Again, I'll be throwing pictures up so you know. Occasionally you get fossils that have been pyritised, and they can appear as if they're made of gold, but they're not. And here's the remain. This is again a large nodule, and you can see right the way through here there is actually and it does look gold when it's actually cleaned up. It's got a load of surface gunge on it because it's been raining. But you can hopefully see on camera there, we've got sort of a gold lustre going on there already. I think this is a DAC again. It's in its own little nodule, slight pyrotised to the nodule. It's got that greeny, goldy, yellowy sort of colour to the outer bit. That hopefully indicates it may have a centre to this, because it's not that type of rock, you know, the shell type stuff. But and for the kids amongst us, there is a face going on here, because we've got shells. This is common when you find ammonites. Sometimes you get mussel shells seem to attach themselves to the tops of the ammonites. In this case, they're not actually on the top of it. You can see they're on the top of the nodule, but you do actually get them on the top of the thing. Lots of theories between all this and a lot of debate, but it's just general consensus of opinion is that a mussel is a bit of a scavenger. When the ammonite dies, they get attracted to the ammonite to obviously feast upon it, and that's why. But then some cataclysmic event happens, you know, rapid warming up of the seas, heavily silting of the seas, mud flow, whatever, that actually killed them all outright. Probably a mixture of everything. And obviously anything feasting on an ammonite would die there and then on the ammonite as well, and then be, you know, crushed by loads of mud, tons of mud suddenly or whatever, and they get the bags. We use these bags for life that you get from all the supermarkets. You know, there's a Morrison's version of one. But the trouble is, when stuff's too heavy, and it's got the handles on it and that, the bottoms come right out of them. As you can see there, there's no bottom in the bag. Literally fell right out. So even though they're strong and they're good, you know, they won't handle everything. So yeah, I'm waffling again. Ammonite inside nodule, same again, slightly bigger one in this case. You sort of see the keel going on there. So now if you can work out the sparkle that's going on there again, so that tells me that it's got pyrotised. This one even more sparkle. If I move it about, I don't know if you can see that, I don't know how close I can get before the focus goes, but just that little bit inside there should be sparkling away with the old pyrite. So yeah, there, clearly one in there as well. Not quite sure what's going on with this. It might just be pieces in that. I don't think there's a full one in there at all. Yeah, there's one in there, but it's on the end. It's an unusual sort of shape for it. Yeah, there's a little one in there, nodule, ain't even been broke. Primarily that's how they fall out of the cliff. This rusty, dirty brown colour to it. Same again there, there's one there. Slightly bigger, yeah, one in there. Even bigger. Don't have to tell you there's an ammonite there. You know, you literally, you know, you can see. Even bigger. Same again. Just gave it a tap with a rock. This little tiny bit came off just to reveal it. Couldn't see nothing in there at all. Just picked it up on the beach and it was just looking like that. Nothing. So you give it a little tap in the right place, hopefully, and you get a little bit of rock off without damaging the ammonite. In that case, that's what's happened here. So yeah, so I can process that one hopefully, and will there be a middle to it? Who knows. This was a weird one next to it. This was a big dirty nodule, and again I sort of gave it a tap, half expecting one or even a double if I was lucky, although I had a double with this one. You can't have, you know. So I gave it a tap thinking it'd be a double, and then when I tapped it and opened it up, I sort of couldn't believe what was inside, and there's this remains of an ammonite shell that's been pyrotised as well. I don't know if you can see the gold in that going on. I'm pretty sure you can. Tried Google searching on this one. I ain't had a lot of results yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it is an ammonite. Yeah, I'm just waiting to get a name for that, which no doubt will pop up just here about now. Right, and then we've got more ammonite nodules, one here, one here. You can see they're just full of dirt and dust because they were just soaking wet because of the rain we had today, which was horrendous, but I'm glad that we put all our waterproofs on. And lastly, another one now. So ammonites are the most common feature again off of the beach. You know, the shell bed and stuff like that, and that basically wraps it up. So yeah, stop the waffling. That's the end of that one. So that was our third visit, I believe, to Saltwick Bay on this period during September 2022, which obviously was a holiday for us. We don't live here because we are the Romford Fossil Hunters. We also hope that you enjoyed this video, and we shall see you very soon. Please leave comments below if you thought this was good, bad or whatever. Thanks very much. Bye.